Welcome back to Hannity. According to a report, comedian Kathy Griffin was interviewed by the Secret Service for over an hour after she posed for this gory ISIS-style photo where she's holding a fake bloody head that resembled President Trump. The investigation into her photo shoot is also reportedly still open. Joining me now with reaction is co-author of the new book, America in the Age of Trump, Opportunities and Oppositions in an Unsettled World, Doug Schoen, and former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. All right, gentlemen, right now, I mean, we knew that this was going to happen. Secret Service interviewing her for more than an hour. And I want to read to you what the statute is. I mean, I haven't heard too many people mention it, but it's 18 U.S.C. 871. That threats against a president, whoever knowingly and willfully deposits for conveyance in the mail or for a delivery from any post office or by letter carrier and, et cetera, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. Do you think, Doug, that Kathy Griffin should be prosecuted?
Well, I think she should be investigated. I think it's appropriate that the Secret Service ask what she was doing, why she did it, and why she effectively seemed to threaten the president. From that investigation, Jeanine, a reasonable judgment can be reached. My own opinion is it was just extremely bad judgment, but I'm not the prosecutor and I'm not the Secret Service. Let the interview, let the investigation go forward, I say.
Corey, don't you think it's interesting, though, that yet when you try to show a person's intent, that what prosecutors could show in this is that Kathy Griffin had indicated that she was going to go beyond just President Trump, that she was going to go after 10-year-old Barron. You think that's indicative of a negative intent toward the Trumps?
Well, it clearly goes to show not only her bias, but her obsession with the Trump family. And, what we've seen for the longest time, Judge, as you know, is that the left-wing liberal media and those in Hollywood who agree with them have operated with impunity. And, just imagine for 1 second, if a conservative would have done this with Barack Obama, the media outrage would be at historic levels. It would still be the story today. And what we've seen, look, I'm happy CNN fired Kathy Griffin, but it's not enough. It's not enough. These people should be boycotted. We, whether you agree with President Trump or disagree with him, he's the President of the United States. We should all support what he's trying to do, which is trying to make our country great again.
And Doug, don't you worry, though, that by all of this left attack, the left attacking the president, whether it's that Shakespeare in the Park or Kathy Griffin or some of the crazy stories that even CNN has had to retract and the New York Times, that they're almost lowering the standard, not just in terms of respect, of reporting as it relates to the president?
Well, I think you're right, but I think it goes beyond that, Jeanine. We're dealing with a situation where our country is being weakened by this gotcha culture where the lowest common denominator appears to rule. I think the Democrats, my party, are making a big mistake just with this resistance without doing what Corey said, which is to try to work with the president, at the same time articulating views and positions that are consistent with Democrats. We've got to stop this. The media, the politicians, activists, we've got to work together because right now we face a grave risk from North Korea, the Chinese, and the Russians. And you know what? They're not really asking why. They're seeing a weakened, divided United States.
Isn't it true, Corey, that, you would think that the Democrats would have learned from the last election if you have a candidate with no message, but just is calling everyone xenophobic, homophobic, racist, and all that, they would have learned their lesson, but they're doing the same thing again.
Well, the American people are very smart, and I've said it many, many times. They want to send people to Washington, and we're going to get things done, and that's why Donald Trump was sent to Washington, D.C. So name-calling and pointing fingers doesn't get things done. Our country has $20 trillion in debt. It's time to do something and send people here who are going to get things done, and that's Donald Trump. The economy is now back on track. Job growth is where it should be. It's moving forward. He has to get a tax cut bill done. We've got to get repeal and replace done. We've got to build a wall on the southern border. We've got to we have to invest $1 trillion in infrastructure spending. These are bipartisan issues that need the support of everybody to make the country great again. Let's work together to get that done.
All right. Doug Schoen, Corey Lewandowski, thanks for being with us this evening.
Thank you.